Good evening, folks. We are back on the VidCast flow. Welcome to the Pride. Exactly. Welcome to the Pride Rules
Woo!
VidCast. We're gonna share this up. Pride Rules MMA, brought to you as always by the fine folks at 80K Fightwear, 80kfightwear.com. Visit them. They have a new Go Green line. It is pretty awesome. The design work that they have is great. And it's functional gear. I have my stuff, and I still sweat and stink, but it doesn't stay. So I don't know what witch's brew they figured out with the material, but it's gonna last for a while. BlackHoleJujitsu.net. We have a spot in New Paltz. We have a spot in Wappingers Falls, both sides of the river up here. If you're ever up by my crazy neck of the woods, right, where we have plumbing, we just got indoor plumbing last week. Come on by, and of course, as always, the fine folks at madamajujitsu.com. Visit them at madamajj.com. Well, folks,
Mm.
let's get to it. Tommy is now a resident celebrity across the world in New Zealand. Right? Let's bring that into play. Come on, guys. What do we got?
All right. Well, so as everybody has seen online, Mark, the Super Samoan Hunt, has been scratched from the Sydney card by the UFC due to medical reasons. Now, the UFC hasn't come out and given the exact reasons why they've taken him out, but anybody with common fucking sense will know they took him out because he did an article, as Chris said about a month ago, stating, and I quote, "I'm okay with dying in the ring. That doesn't bother me." So that was one. The other one is, "I have slurred speech and my memory is getting worse." So that's another. So the UFC being on their side, and yeah, I'm sure the lawsuit has something to do with it too,
Oh,
pulled him off the card. Now, Chris, before you say anything, Cain Velasquez was pulled off a card for the same exact thing. He did an interview saying that it hurts when he sits down. He could barely sit down. The UFC heard it. They pulled him from the card. So, in the age now with combat sports,
It was
where you
AKA in
have
Hollywood Boulevard, though. Like, it hurts that much when he sits down. Like, he'd be out by San Fran a lot. Like, it hurts when he can't sit down. It hurts when
him
he
and
sits down.
Luke have been fucking
Playing
dicks to
touch
each
ass ripping
butt.
each
other,
other.
Playing touch butt in the park.
making yeah.
Well, no,
Snow
that's
Angels.
Connor.
Playing
That's
Snow
Connor.
Angels
But
in Wheat Field.
anyway,
Sorry.
in the age of combat sports where we are right now, where you just had Tim Hague die, you have Gary Goodridge, who I mean can't even remember more than half of his career. He's got so many mental issues because of fighting. Do you not think the UFC is going to think, well, okay, he's been pissing us off for a while. We're looking for an excuse to get rid of him. So
Omar.
this kind of a this kind of an article is easy enough for us to get rid of him. Let's take a little look at Mark Hunt's career here.
Oh, he's got notes. Holy shit,
in
I
kick
forgot. He's got
Come
a
on,
fucking
bro.
book.
in
Jesus.
kickboxing alone, he had 43 fights. Now he was 30 and 13. He only got knocked out twice. But let's think about those 43 fights. I know Omar, you've seen some of them. I know Chris, you've seen some of them. How many of those were wars that he was in as a fucking heavyweight? How many of those were wars? Probably all of them.
Any with Bob
So then,
Sapp
so
was
give the
definitely
man,
tough.
put some respect on his name, B.
I'm not done yet.
Oh my
I ain't
god.
done yet.
Yo, you gotta rub your hands. Put some
Then you look
respect
at
on my
his
name.
MMA record, which
Yeah.
is 13 and 11. So that's 26 fights.
Yo, you finished or are you done?
Oh, no, I ain't done yet, motherfucker.
Oh Jesus, he's got a pen.
Why don't
He's
you
got an
just
open.
sit back, read some Barely Legal Beaver, and
Oh,
just let Daddy run with it, all right?
really?
so
Let
much for
Daddy run
so
with
much
it.
He
for
can't
that.
help himself. He's a fucking lecherous degenerate. And I'm not talking about Chris. I'm talking about Tommy.
Because
God damn
I'm
it.
as much as I'm not pissed, I'm pissed.
Oh,
The
you
other
big
night,
man?
pissed
Oh, you
Playing the
feelings.
buffer.
mad? You
I'm
Omar's
mad.
playing the
mad?
buffer right now.
Yeah, something.
So in
Jesus.
MMA, he's only been knocked out 5 times. which again, it's not that bad, but how many of those fights were wars? You can't expect this guy to have any kind of brain matter left in his head right now. So is it really that bad that they pulled him from the fight?
Yes. You want to know why?
Why?
Because this fucking interview that Mark Hunt did was before they even signed him to fight. Why would they even sign him to fight to begin with?
Well, because
Whoa.
as anybody
Look at
who's
that.
Mind blow.
time out, not
Boom.
really, because Kane had a signed fight before he came out with his interview. Anybody who's ever been in handcuffs has heard the words, anything you say and do will be held against you. Why
Okay.
would you give an interview whether you have a fight or not right after you fought Derek Lewis, talking about that you have symptoms of CTE and think that the UFC is going to put you back out there?
Can I ask you something though?
Why?
I've heard well, I'll start off with a statement. I've heard plenty of fighters say that they're willing to die in the ring. That's cliche. That's talk, fighter talk.
How many of them said that?
Unless
Probably
you're
have
Japanese.
Right? But then they don't I'll give you
Japanese
that they don't I'll give you that they don't follow that up with I don't remember my fucking name. I don't, know
It's a
like,
crucial distinction.
I don't know who my wife is, things like that. I understand that.
Yo.
However, I think
I
that
went to the wrong house.
Yeah.
like for the the
I put my
UFC
wife's
is
underwear on
a
instead of
slippery
mine.
slope here because
I do that anyway.
they're setting a precedent that I don't know that they're willing to actually uphold for themselves on a consistent plane.
Nobody else has been stupid enough to say that.
Bro, Nate
that's
Diaz
dumb.
hasn't been able to speak for 10 years.
Yeah, but he
And
came
they'll sign
into
him-
the sport mentally retarded. There's a difference.
Man, that's
He smoked
wow.
himself retarded. Mark Hunt's
He's
face.
a good
Listen to
nunchucker,
me.
though.
Mark Hunt's poor head
skills.
has been fisted more times than a fetish fucking porn star's corn cannon. Okay?
Oh, wow. I can't. I'm glad I'm sitting down. My Lord. And you're getting on him for his proclivities. I just want to call out the hypocrisy at this early stage of the conversation. But
And
you know
Omar
what?
did say proclivities, ladies and gentlemen.
I tried.
Large.
But I think the timing is suspect. It really is. They signed him to fight knowing what they know about him, and then suddenly now that he's it's
I just have problems with the way they went about it. Like, okay, you act like there's not a fucking doctor that you could send him to and be like, you know what, before we pull you from this fight for no reason, and in spot to Verdun. Let's get you tested. Let's check this out. Let's see if what you're saying is actually real. Let's get a brain scan. The UFC should be doing that shit anyway. That should be preemptive. That should be after every fight where you take punishment. So it's like, I don't buy it. That's my whole problem with it. I don't buy
Omar,
it.
what were you just saying to me about the medical testing before we came on?
The medical testing, I think, I like the idea of what Chris is kind of bringing to the table, but there's anywhere where there's a decided advantage for one outcome when you have a subjective expert coming in and saying, I think they're good to fight, I think they're not good to fight, you're going to be able to find a doctor to say what the hell you need to say. For fuck's sake, I could probably find 3 that will let me get juice to the tits on testosterone tomorrow.
But
do you not think? Yeah, but do you not think that the UFC would want him to fight? It's his home.
I don't think the UFC wants him to fucking. They don't want to pay him anymore.
I understand that, but did you just see that what UFC 216's pay-per-view numbers were?
14 buys, I think. 14 people bought that pay-per-view.
Pretty much about that.
Yeah.
Pretty much about that.
It was terrible.
So
it was 125,000, right? It was something
120, like 120,000, give or take.
Fucking abysmal.
Abysmal, exactly.
Hold on, I'm stepping off for 30 seconds.
Gotcha.
Uh-oh.
He looked serious. I think he tied his bandana on tighter. He's going to fuck somebody. He's going to fuck somebody up, it looks like. But you're right. And I think the one before that was even less.
Yeah.
Right? Last two.
What I'm saying is he was going to be the biggest draw on that card just because of who he was. So, yeah, the UFC was going to want him to do that.
That boy's back.
If they didn't want him to fight, they wouldn't have put him against Derek Lewis in his last fight. So it's not like they're not giving him fights. Now, do I think the lawsuit is bullshit? 100%. Because what are you going to win in that lawsuit? What exactly is he going to win?
Pride.
Nothing.
They're literally going to give him pride.
Pride rules.
Because he's not going to win.
Exactly. They're just
He's not going to win.
No way.
What lawyer
There's no
does
way.
he have that's going to be better than WME and the UFC's lawyers?
They're
Tell
going to
me.
resurrect Johnny Cochran now that OJ's alive, just as a preemptive measure, and to get warmed up again for the legal battle that OJ is going to start up with some fuckery while he's out. They're going to give him Mark Hunt's case.
Yeah. He's
it.
going to spend
Now-
so much money in legal battles. He's going to be broke. And I'm going to say it again. Punch me for $5 fucking
Fuck
dollars.
you,
He's going to go
Tommy.
right around his neck
Go fuck
outside the
yourself.
local fucking Walmart in New Zealand.
Yo, they don't
And
even have
that's how he's
Walmarts.
going to have to make his money.
Like, they don't have Walmarts in New Zealand.
Tommy,
They have
stop
what's
being a
up for
fuckwit.
Yeah, fuckwit.
Here's my. I'm gonna go back to the point about the medical situation. And Omar, I see your point that they could pretty much get a doctor to say what they want. Well, here's the answer to that. All right, you have the UFC have their doctor examine him, and then you have them, however they want to do it, through an insurance company, have an independent Mark Hunt picks, right? And they both fucking they both get checked. They both check the guy out, and it leaves the gray area out of it in terms of like we could get a guy to say what we want.
I
Yeah,
like
but
it.
it
In this
shouldn't
case,
be a
like,
gray
you would
area.
want them to not say that he's healthy because it's like the UFC would want to be like, no, he can't fight.
Yeah, but
You
dude,
know, so
there
it's-
shouldn't be a gray area when you come out in an article saying that you slur your words, you're losing your memory. These are all stuff from CTE. If it wasn't for that concussion movie and all the shit that's been coming out with these NFL players killing themselves and Chris Benoit killing himself and his whole family, if it wasn't for all these problems, we wouldn't even need to be having this conversation. So when you're stupid enough to make that statement, and I love one of the people that I was arguing with, because this is the guy who privately messaged me. Oh, he's got brain trauma. He probably doesn't even remember doing the interview. So if you're telling me that, you mean to tell me, as a fan and somebody that supposedly knows him personally, you want to see him go in there and possibly die like Tim Hague? That's a fan? Fuck you. You're not a fan. You just wanted to be your dancing fucking puppet. That's all you want. And that's bullshit. I don't want to see it for the guy. I used to be a fan. Is he whining a little bit too much now? Absolutely. Absolutely. I don't want to see the guy die. I don't want to see anybody die.
Would you ever
in that
travel to New Zealand, though, after all this?
Fuck no. I don't want to sit on a
I
plane
would
that
love.
goddamn
First of all,
long.
you wouldn't like to go down to Australia or New
No.
Zealand. You're fucking bugging, bro.
No. No, I can't sit on a plane that long. 10
Yeah, I
hours
get
was enough
that.
to Hawaii.
I
10
get
hours was
that.
enough.
It was 15 to China from Detroit. It was fun. It was worth it, too.
D.
From the Dirty D when it was not bankrupt. So it still had good hot dogs. It was good.
I'm gonna look up these lightweight rankings.
So yeah, I don't want to see the guy die. I think if he just kept his mouth shut and didn't say that in the interview, we wouldn't be having this conversation. So, like I said before, anything you say or do will be used against you. And it was. Did he not think that that was going to get
You're
printed?
giving me PTSD with all these references to like what people tell you when you're in handcuffs, Tommy. I'm just letting you know.
No,
could ease
you
up.
know, you're not the only one.
If we could ease up on that, that'd be nice.
I'm just saying, like
you know.
you can't sit there and I'm sure it's not, they just want to get rid of him.
At least my
but
PO
if
knows
you're
where I am right now. Like I'm on
If you're
video.
going to look at it from a public relations standpoint, they look like the Good Samaritans because of what he said. If you think about it.
Well, there's an easy way to spin it. They're coming out, but I think there was a vested
The
interest.
fucking UFC is Good Samaritans. Get the
Yeah, that's what I mean. There's about as good Samaritans as fucking, the Rockefellers with Standard Oil and being, the Pinkerton group. We could get into that. You know how much I love fucking, the big business versus labor debate. We could go all day there. But they look terrible because they are terrible, though. If you look past the layer of this is how it's going to seem, I'm sad that Mark Hunt fucked himself. He fucked himself in an interview, and he set this up for himself because I feel it's a fucking symptom of what he's talking about. And I think the UFC came in and said, you know what? what's Mark Hunt really going to get us money-wise? What's really going to happen? Then we're going to go that route. And they just decided, hey, it's not worth it.
Let's say a Bellator, or even say Mark Hunt goes back to Japan and Ryzen signs him and he dies from head trauma. Who looks bad?
His team, I feel, should be shot in the face if they allow that to happen.
The organization and the commission that allows him to fight looks bad. Who looks like the hero? The UFC.
Here's my whole thing about this. I mean, like, I don't think Mark Hunt's life is at risk here. I think his memory is at stake, but I think that's the case for every UFC fighter. And like for them to, like that's just my whole thing.
I bet Tim Hague thought the same thing.
I think that if everybody, if you were a fly on the wall in in any gym across the country that has professional fighters fighting in it, these conversations are probably more prevalent than you believe. Like people are fucking getting hit in the head repeatedly by men that train in the art of hitting you in the head.
Exactly.
You understand?
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, but how many guys?
It's not like Mark Hunt is some fucking unicorn of the UFC where he's the only person that's been punched in the face before a bunch of times. They're all fucking
I haven't
dead.
seen anybody take the punishment that guy's taken throughout his whole career.
Bro, Bigfoot Silva alone. I mean, fucking let's talk about Stefan Struve. He had like a crazy enlarged heart. He's like, there's a lot of guys that have been, like.
It's terrible. Stop, Tommy.
Am I wrong?
Stop, Tommy. Let's focus. Tommy, let's focus, you fuck.
Trisha
I know. I know. I liked it, but I didn't fucking break this guy's flow up. The VidCast, Tommy. Have some decorum.
I'll break Tommy's fucking jaw.
He doesn't even know what I'm laughing at.
No, take a look. It's hilarious, but you know what?
Right now.
I'm a professional. God damn it. I'm a professional.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. You're a professional.
Okay.
You're a fucking stick in the mud. That's fucking hilarious. I don't even care.
Yo, guys,
I'm just trying. Here, he had a good point.
My line is, don't fucking hate me because you ain't me.
That's a pretty strong. The tricep definition is very similar. I've seen your gym photos. So that's pretty high up there. But before you were interrupted by Mr. fucking laughing man over here. That's
fucking
amazing.
Adonis over here.
Yo, for real.
Thank you.
Yeah, this fucking guy.
Yep. He's ravishing Rick Rude.
Right next to Tommy's phone is a triple cheeseburger.
No, it's a double cheeseburger
Right
from 7-Eleven.
Yo, there's
double.
There's no fat shaming
and a fucking bomb burrito
on the show. That's
no burritos. I got too long of a drive in the morning for work.
7-Eleven sushi, though. He likes to live dangerously. He gets gas station sushi.
So anyway, go ahead, Chris. Go back to your CTE point. That wasn't really
Trisha,
making a point.
You got me good.
Yo,
man.
she
She did. That was good.
Josh is on fire. God damn. Oh my God.
Motherfucker.
Oh man.
I'm done.
We don't usually get off the rails on the VidCast, but it's it makes it funny. So go ahead, Chris.
What are you talking about, bro?
VidCast are where we get really creepy.
Remind me, because I have no fucking idea.
Yeah.
You were talking about how your CTE points make no sense.
Which is ironic.
Oh no, I was just saying how
I can't remember.
Stefan Struve had enlarged wolf heart or some shit. That's
it's a Jarvik 7 in his chest.
And now he's fighting again. He needed like open heart surgery a fucking couple weeks ago, and now he's getting knocked out by the likes of Mark Hunt. So I just don't buy it. I don't buy what the UFC is selling, that they're like this all of a sudden they give a fuck about fighter health.
I don't think they give it. I don't
$5,000, like $10,000 a fucking every 3 months to go get this shit beat out of them, and then they're ditching them like they're fucking garbage. And now all of a sudden they care about Mark Hunt. No, they don't even care about their image. They don't care about any of that. This is a petty ass move. Your boy, and not some guy that you've been coming at since the Brock Lesnar fucking bullshit. You would be singing a completely different tune, Tommy.
Not if the fighter is stupid enough.
That's the
to make
common
statements
that I noticed with you.
If you're stupid enough to make statements saying that you know that you have some sort of brain trauma, that's on you. If you're that dumb, that's on you. That's on you.
Bro, he fights in a cage for a living. What do you want him to be? A smart man? He's a fucking fighter.
So do everybody. So does every other fighter. You don't see Chuck Liddell saying that he doesn't remember what he ate last.
Bro, I watched
Tuesday.
Chuck Liddell fall asleep in a
On
fucking
Good Morning America.
in a Good Morning America
Yeah,
interview
because
on
he
live
was
TV, fucking
drunk.
high as hell on God knows what.
He wasn't
So
drunk.
what does
Still
that
stunk
have
like
to
the
do-
hooker he was banging the night
But
before.
what did that
And
have
you're
to
telling
do
me
with
that they
CTE?
gave a fuck.
What did
It
that
took
have
Chuck
to
Liddell
do
getting
with
knocked out
CTE?
47 times. He pissed and shit himself in the fucking octagon after getting knocked out by Rashad. And
Yeah, and who
he
made him
still
stop?
fought.
Who
Like
made
a
him
couple
stop?
more times.
Dana
Yeah.
made him stop.
And he's coming back. He's coming back to
Nah.
Bellator.
After, like, bro, let's be honest here. Dana made him stop after he was like, bro,
Once they
Chuck
got all the
can't even
juice
fucking
out of his stardom.
spell his name at this point.
Once they got all the
He
shine
does have
off
a
of his
bad
star,
bitch.
and
You know
they
what it is?
transferred
Chris
to
doesn't
everybody
care.
else.
Chris doesn't care about fighter health. He wants them to be dead retards fighting in the cage
Bro,
for his enjoyment.
Yo, that's so. Here, you're misguided with your fucking.
No.
Again,
That's
you're
what it
wrong.
is.
He's being a
That's just
fuckwit.
I
what it
don't
is.
care if they don't care. I'm not
You want
their
Gary
team.
Goodrich to come back.
I'm not their coach.
You want him to
If
come
this
back
guy
and
wants to
fight
fight-
Matt Hughes. That's what you want.
Please,
To
oh
entertain
my
You want him
me.
to come back and fight Matt Hughes.
Oh my lord! You guys are
That's what
fucking.
you want.
That's crazy.
Tommy, do yourself a favor and eat a dick. That said, you act like the UFC gives a fuck. They don't. I don't give a fuck.
Of course they
Because
don't
if
give a
Mark
fuck, but
Hunt
they're
doesn't
making
give a
up-
fuck.
they're-
I'm
they're
not sitting
making
here pretending like
themselves
I
seem like they
care
give a
or don't
fuck.
care about fighter health. My point is this: if the fighter is down, he's a grown ass man. It's like saying, like, okay, how many football players do you think you've watched play with a concussion? Did you want them to? If Derek Carr could come back this week, would you want him to come back this week?
No.
Get the fuck, hang up the phone,
Yeah.
go, bye. Come on,
entire way out of
Aaron
here.
Rodgers had a concussion and he missed a couple weeks, and I wanted him back the next play.
But because you want them there for your entertainment. They're puppets for you. That's all they are. They're puppets for you.
No, first of all, yes, if you really want to get technical about it, I mean, the UFC, these guys, they're getting locked in a cage for my entertainment. Isn't that what the whole point of this is?
Well, not if the guy is going to be a dribbling Momo in about 3 years.
Strong
Yo,
moment.
Tommy, in 30
Powerful.
years, they are all going to be dribbling momos down the
No, they're
line.
not.
Okay, so Frankie's not been in fucking some crazy wars. You don't think he's going to have some effect? from
Not
getting
like
punched
Mark
in his head?
Hunt.
Why
Not
do you?
by getting
Whoa.
punched by two
Where's your-
300
Hold
pound
on,
guys.
Tommy, do me a
wait a
favor.
sec.
Go in
Even
your
I gotta
fucking
say.
bag, go in your suitcase, and
Grab the shine
pull out your
box?
fucking PhD in
Oh.
brain,
Okay.
whatever. What's a head doctor?
Neuroscience.
Smart.
Neuroscience.
A
brainiologist?
neurologist?
Thanks,
Yeah,
I could have come up with that one.
Neurologist,
Yeah.
not a radiologist.
Brainiologist is what I say. I say
A brainiologist. That's
Yeah,
where I
that's
was
fine.
going with it, but
Yeah, that's
I
fine.
figured I'd
I'll
ask
rubber
one
stamp
who's
it.
Well, I mean,
intelligent.
is Boss
Okay.
Rutan a dribbling Momo? And he fought longer than.
Yeah, but he has one
That
arm
Mark
now.
Hunt has.
He's made sacrifices. He has an arm that's like the size of a fucking 4-year-old's
Yo,
arm.
Boss
But he
Rutan
stopped
fought his
fighting,
career
didn't
with
he?
only like palm strikes allowed. Like
Yeah,
But he stopped fighting, didn't he?
pancreas.
pancreas style. But
Frank
First off-
Shamrock stopped fighting, didn't he?
and he got braces, which I think
Yeah,
were
'cause Nick
uglier
Diaz-
than
Yeah,
whatever
that was kind
Nick
of
Diaz was like, "Get the fuck out of here,
happened.
Merc."
But he stopped fighting, didn't he?
Thankfully, when his
BJ
body.
Penn's still allowed to fight.
Oh Christ, that's
Yeah,
a
let's be real
fucking-
here. Let's be honest. If they could fucking make money off you, you're fighting.
But after that
Mark
fight,
Hunt,
what did
there's
the
beef.
three of us say? BJ Penn should not fight anymore.
Of course.
So I took the same stance then that
So,
I'm
but-
taking now.
But what did the UFC say, Tommy? What did the UFC say? Sign here.
What
Fight.
after
That's what the
they ain't
UFC
going to
said.
sign him after that Yair fight?
they
They're
will.
not going to sign him to fight again.
No, they
Who's he
will.
going to fight?
What?
Who's he going to fight? Oh, here's
Jimmy
an idea.
Browning.
Have him fight Mark Hunt.
Junie
Bro, he
Browning.
just fought
Again.
Dennis Seaver.
He fought after that
After
fight.
the-
What's
Yair
that fight?
fight.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
You know why I didn't remember that? Because it was just as insignificant.
Because you have CTE
Yes, I do, but I'm not
Because
fighting.
you've
so
been
it's
fucking.
okay.
with some wars too. I'm just
Tommy's
gonna
had
say
fucking nuts slapping off his fucking chin for the better part of
Oh.
his life, so he's probably got CTE too.
that's rock hard
Uh-oh.
nuts.
Are you trying, Chris? Now
Rock hard
you
nuts.
Tommy.
just asked me. You
And then you
just
violated
asked
it.
me.
And then you
No, I
violated though.
didn't.
in
You
all honesty.
violated the terms of our fucking
Truth,
of our
the
treaty already,
compact.
bro. Our peace
Exactly.
agreement went out the window immediately
Oh,
Yeah.
as soon as the
I
show
said
started.
legal beaver.
Tommy-
I didn't say illegal beaver.
Tommy is basically Hitler, and he's creeping into Poland and he wants everybody to just appease him
You are such a
and look
piece
the
of
other
shit.
way. Yeah, right? He's
Calm
just
down, Herbert. All right, this
all
isn't all
right.
about you.
Nah, he's just creeping into the
I
fucking
actually hope Tommy's
Rhineland.
fucking gets hit by a bus today,
Holy shit. Just
as
walk
well
out.
as fucking Tony Ferguson.
Yes, let's switch to there. Tony
Motherfucker.
fucking Ferguson picking
And I
fights
don't.
with
I want to
everybody.
reiterate. I want to make a point that I hope that
Tommy does get hit by a bus because
best
that's
for
fucked
every
up.
fighter's health, because Tommy's painting me out to be this fucking scumbag.
Dance for me.
Yo,
Dance for me, fighter
You know what
puppets.
I love the
Dance.
way that Chris is dressed right now. He could feasibly be the Just Bleed guy. And that would go
He looks
with
like a 1980s aerobics instructor.
no.
At fucking
And that would
Gold's
go
Gym.
with the narrative that Tommy's trying to paint him in, right? Like he's
And I will
the
fucking-
Just Bleed.
What did you say?
He's ready.
CTE's creeping in on you.
Oh, man, it's getting me too. I can remember
Bro, you
things.
got me
Vic.
dying right now.
Hey, Chris,
I'm
open
dying
the
too.
garage.
That's terrible. No,
Open the
stop
garage.
it. That's fucked up. No. He's not in the garage trying to fucking gas himself out. Is that where you're going with this, Tommy?
His
Fuck.
sister just messaged us to say,
Oh,
Chris,
okay,
open the
yeah.
garage.
Okay.
Tell my sister to go fuck herself,
Oh, God damn it.
because I'm not doing jack shit.
Oh, my God. I like this is fucking dumb.
Yo, by the way, speaking of my sister, Tommy, how insane was that fucking that meme? That
Oh
meme
my
chat
God.
Today,
Oh my
we could all
God.
be arrested for that.
We
And,
could.
Yeah,
We could.
I had to.
We definitely could.
You have to like say a prayer. You have to go to confession. If you laugh.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
You guys are
Omar's our
crazy.
slow cooker at the moment.
I'm trying. Oh Christ!
Jesus.
Anyway, Tony Ferguson. Guys, how about some Tony Ferguson? What do we got? Oh well, I think we
Yeah,
Yeah,
Tommy-
talk about a guy with CTE. That's
Fuck.
2 heavyweights he's picked a fight with in the past goddamn week. 2 top heavyweights. What is this guy trying to do?
money fights.
You know the crazy part? He has a better chance against them than he does against Connor.
Oh my lord, he went there. Good grief.
So off.
Did you really watch that fight thinking that any of those guys would fuck with Connor?
Yeah, Kevin
yeah.
Lee and Tony Ferguson would take him down at will.
Especially Kevin Lee.
I'm just saying. I mean, what he does with him
Especially
down
Kevin
there.
Lee.
Yeah, come on now, Kevin Lee without
I don't
staff.
think he's holding him. I don't think he's holding him down.
Hold on.
I
Did
think
his 8 months of, or not 8 months, but his 2 months of boxing training taught him how to scramble from underneath? I want to go to that gym. Sounds like the best gym in the world.
His takedown defense is a lot better than you're giving it credit for. As far as like the men
What?
that fight is what you're going on, and that's
Hold on.
fucking 3 years ago.
Wait a second. He comes from a European pedigree first and foremost already. So his wrestling in Dungeons and Dragons terms, I'm gonna go all geeky because I got a fucking Linux shirt on. Is already at like a -2. All right, and then you're telling me that he took some time away from an already subpar, grappling pedigree to focus on boxing, which I give him all the credit for to get money. God bless him, right? But
Bro, and he's in talks with the WWE. Of course he could wrestle.
Oh, Dana White
There you
squashed
go.
that today.
Yeah, of course he did.
Of course he did.
You
The
know
same
what?
way he squashed the
He's
Mayweather fight.
believable. But I'm sorry, Omar.
Yeah.
I didn't mean to cut you off.
No,
Even
that's
though I
fine.
did
No,
mean
it's
to cut you
it's the
off.
way. I'm just saying, it's his Achilles heel. Thank God he has a lightning strike of a left hand, which I think still in 4-ounce gloves is ridiculous, and his timing and his power. But come on, man, Kevin Lee just can't take him down, and without staff, I don't think he's getting back up.
I mean, here's my thing. Like, I ain't gonna co-sign the fact that you really think that Kevin Lee is gonna beat Conor McGregor in a fight. In a fist
I
fight.
think
I'd rather
Kevin,
see-
Kevin Lee will take him down, but Tony
Kevin
Ferguson,
Lee's beating him.
Tony Ferguson can beat him 100%.
Absolutely.
I'll
also
tell you
agree
this:
with
the
that.
one advantage that Ferguson has is that his cardio is
Mexican.
better. Fact,
Mexican,
100%.
and that's
I'll
the
admit
reason.
that.
He's-
Not
he's
even just
right.
the cardio; it's him off his back. Like, what's Conor gonna do? He's gonna hit him with the left. Ferguson's gonna go on
Connor's
his back.
probably gonna sleep his ass though. You know, like I don't know. Didn't everybody think Alvarez was gonna take Conor down too?
Alvarez does not have the wrestling pedigree
Yeah.
and the
Yeah, he
jiu-jitsu.
did until Connor showed that he didn't.
No, he
Plus,
does.
He doesn't have the
Eddie,
USA
Eddie
wrestling
wasn't a
tattoo
college
either.
wrestler. Eddie was
That
a high
gives you-
school wrestler.
That gives you powers.
No,
Let's
Eddie
not-
was
let's get
a
into
high
it.
school wrestler. He didn't have the wrestling that that Tony Ferguson has, and he doesn't have the black belt status.
Captain of
that
an
Tony
All-American
Ferguson
wrestling
has.
team,
Yeah,
like
exactly.
All-American captain on a wrestling team, like
Yeah.
that's already, and it's a weird like rolling funk style too. I think he could,
I
he
agree.
would.
I agree.
He gets hit a lot.
Tony's got a unique style. Hit
You
with
know?
that left.
That I give you. I almost give Kevin Lee more of a chance because I don't feel he's gonna even believe in his striking to the point where he's gonna be like, "Fuck it, I'm just gonna GSP his ass." It'd be boring as shit.
Here's the thing: if he hits him with the left hand, and Ferguson goes to his back, is Conor going to be stupid enough to dive right in there?
I hope not. That's some Tower 7 shit right there, and I mean it every ounce of my body. That's Tower 7 all over again. If he goes down into that mess, that quagmire of a guard, fuck yeah.
Yeah,
I think that
I think Khabib beats him.
I almost don't want to beat this point home because I've used it for the GSP Bisping fight, but you don't really have to be a great wrestler or a great jiu-jitsu player to be able to stifle somebody else's game with just learning one thing. You know, just go like, all right, he's going to try and take me down. Let me just work on takedown defense. I don't have to work on my takedowns. Because I'm not going there. I'm not going to be offensive. Like if I go to the ground, my only motive is wrong. My only end up. Like I'm not going to play this game, Against Mendez, I think Conor was very comfortable off his back because he's like, this guy ain't going to do shit to me. I'm just going to tire him out. That was his game plan. I don't think that would be the game.
Kind of hard not to tire, or it's really not that hard to tire a guy out who was sitting on the couch for the past 2 months.
Okay, so what? I mean, let's be fucking honest here. Do you think Mendez is beating Conor ever?
He was.
Fight 100 times.
If he has a full gas tank, he does the same shit he does in the first and second round, most of the second, and he goes forward. Yes, absolutely.
He lost those rounds. Watch the fight, please. Again,
he did not lose those rounds.
Like a takedown and a couple elbows don't win you a round unless you're fucking.
You need to watch it again.
Adelaide
he was on
Bird.
His back for the entire time that he had him there.
Bro, ask Mendez what the most damage of that fight was, and he'll say the elbows. When he was on top, Conor was fucking elbowing the shit out of him, and he was complaining that they were illegal, but because they were coming.
No, I would think the most damage that he took was from the side kick to his gut.
Not 12-6.
The side kick to his gut is what did him in. Because he was out of shape, and he got hit, and he got kicked in the fucking ribs.
Folded like a bitch.
Folded like a bitch. He kept getting taken down at will.
Let's not
get into this
because fucking the champ is the champ for a reason, guys.
No, he's a lightweight champ. He doesn't have that 145 belt anymore.
No, I gotta stop you there, Tommy. Like
champ.
Yeah, he got stripped.
Because he wouldn't defend. And he never planned on it.
He's still the lineal champion. I mean, it's still the real champ. He never lost it. Do I think he might? 145
belt.
Do I think he might? Well, he probably has one of like the 17 replicas that his son plays with. But you can't until somebody beats him at 145. Again, I think somebody could. I don't think he's ever making that weight.
There's two guys that can. A healthy Max Holloway and Frankie beats him in a 5-round war.
Frankie's going to get finished by Max, first of all.
Okay.
That's another fucking story for another day.
That's a can of corn right there.
Chris is sharp as a tampon tonight.
Jesus Christ. Let's save it for the preview.
That he shows the Lebanese how to use.
Oh my God, no.
This fucking guy.
I swear to God. Why not Syrians? Why not Egyptians? Why just call out the Lebanese? They're all beautiful people. They're all beautiful people. I swear.
What a scumbag.
I swear, man.
You started it.
I know he didn't. All he started was by saying any slander against Frankie, and you're just like, I'm going to let him have it with 2 cannons. It's just like literally, it's just like he tapped you on the shoulder, and then you went to kick him square in the dick. Like, it's like, he was just asking, yo, could I get by? I need the creamer. And you just kicked him right up. Like, oh, yeah? You want to say
Did we make him leave?
Yeah, 100%. He's gone. He's gone, baby, gone. Come on, man. You're on fire this week, man. An entire, I think the movie Pacific Rim hates you. Like, that entire people, right? They're trying to get Godzilla to rise out of the ocean. He legit left I see a creepy photo instead of him. I don't like that at all. It's really weird. He looks like his cousin there. So hold on.
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, 100%. We're
I was gonna say that.
Yeah, we're getting rid of it. I don't want to look at that no more. Okay, so there we go. However, Tony Ferguson, he's picking fights with everybody, but is it a function of he doesn't think he's gonna get the counter fight, so he's just picking fights with he's trying to stay in the media?
Yeah, I don't know, but I was watching that on Twitter between him and DC. And I was just like, what the hell is going on here?
I don't understand it. And what Big Brown broke it down for me today. So I'm just
I didn't hear that today.
What it was just funny, where he kind of made a great point. Like, why is DC as an analyst talking that shit? Like, he needs to really.
But he didn't say anything wrong though. Like I was
no,
listening
but even engage. It's like you can't go back and forth. And he did a little bit. Even like there's a way to go about that where you just literally ignore it. I don't care what your mentions say, bro, but like, you know what? There's a time when you could talk shit about somebody, right? And, time before Twitter, talk shit about somebody, but you didn't always have to address it. I get social media. We're all about social media, but what the fuck, man? There's something to be said about just say, okay, what's the worst that could happen? Tony keeps talking to fucking thin air, right? And generates all this shit. And DC's just like, what? I can't hear you. You're like 17 weight classes away. Like in his head. He doesn't even say this, right? He says, yo, I got one more zero.
I just like what he said to him. He's like, what's your deal, man? Like,
yeah,
what is your deal?
Because it's really like you're just standing outside of like a mall or something, and some guy just rolls up and starts trying to hit you with his fucking skateboard out of nowhere. You're just minding your own business, and you see, really big UFO pants, and he's starting to swing.
Like the RKO.
Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. The fucking serpent, right? The snake, the deadly. What? Like, why? There's no need for this. And you know what? Did it really turn out that well when you were calling out fucking Verdum? With Verdum, I get some of it. All right. He's an old school Cholo, and he got called a fag.
It got turned bad on Verdum's side.
It's 100%.
Are you picking on the little guy?
But because it was merited, it was merited, and you can't say that word. I don't care. People are trying to be like, oh, well, in Mexican culture, blah, blah. No, listen. All right. One thing I don't do. I don't even really use the fag word in like English conversation. I really don't. Right. But I damn sure ain't dropping that maricon on a Spanish person unless I am somewhat okay with it going to a certain extent. And maybe there's some fisticuffs involved, right? You can't, and I'm not going to say it to a dude I outweigh by fucking 80 pounds, right? I'm going to walk up to a fucking middle schooler and just be like, yo, your goddamn money go. No, it was a bad look for Verdum all around, but what exactly was Tony thinking coming at another star like that, man?
Well, for my man, Tim Spooney here's the thing. Okay. Here's the thing. Two guys just coming out of fight camp are ready to kill, and one starts with the other. They're in fight mode. Tony Ferguson had no reason to start anything with Verdum. None. So what's Verdum supposed to do? If Verdum said nothing, then it was you got bitched out by a guy that's 150 pounds. But if Verdum says something, he's a bully. So it's a lose-lose situation to where Tony Ferguson comes out on top no matter what.
I get it. I understand that. But in this context, with Verdum, fine. Like I'll give that as a mulligan. But did he think he was going to strike gold twice? With fucking just talk and DC of all people. Like right now, I mean, I get Tony's. I think he's just trying to be a Mexican Connor, and he's coming off as a chooch. But
yeah,
I think that's
who he's coming off as Junie Browning without the crack,
and that's saying a lot. I think that's giving him a lot of credit because, like, even his friends and people that respect him are like, "Yo, he's kind of a weird dude." When Eddie Bravo talks about you in terms of like he's kind of his own guy. Yeah, or he's kind of off. You're like, wait a second. This is Eddie goddamn Bravo. All right. Eddie Flat Earth Bravo. Eddie Tower 7 fucking Bravo. We can go on, right? He's saying that, hey, man, I love him. I'm his trainer, blah, blah, blah. Like, but my man's crazy. There we go. Sweet deal.
Man, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you leave, dude. I just made it.
No, that wasn't it.
Jesus
okay, I was about to say, like, I almost felt bad for a
that.
second. I almost felt bad for a second. Then I remembered it was you.
Almost.
Yeah.
You're still a scumbag.
Of course.
Of course he is.
So you want to bring?
No, don't
Chris,
think that I'm good. I'm good.
Bring Chris back up to speed, Omar, as to what we were just discussing.
Yeah, why the fuck is El Kukui picking fights with people that he has no business ever trying to fight? So there's no talk shit at least about people that you can fight, right? Your thoughts? What's going on here?
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I think that I don't want to say this, but like Connor did that whole thing, the MSG week, he tried to fight everybody. El Kukui's like, I don't buy his fucking shit either. Like, he's just really bad at shit talking, and
he's terrible at it. He's terrible at it.
It's painful. It's almost as painful as some of Tommy's jokes.
I mean, that's a bridge too far, but
yeah, you're reaching there.
Well, I mean, I'm the one that experiences most of the pain.
Yeah,
that's true. You got the salt.
So it's
hashtag salt.
Yeah.
No, for real. But I don't know, man.
No, Ferguson's a fucking dumbass. It's a good way to build publicity by acting like you're a tough guy, knowing that nothing is really going to happen.
Especially with DC. Like, why are you really? And over Twitter.
It's like spam. It's manufactured
at least
beef.
But at least with Verdum, he did it to his face. With DC, he did it to him over Twitter. Like, really? Really?
He's trying to become Meek Mill. He's trying to take that Twitter loss. And he's about to. I want somebody to clap back at him and just fucking, and it's like, if he's this bad at shit talking, then don't shit talk. There's something to be said. Like, if you're really, I know this is the age of shit talking, but if you suck at it, don't you just go somewhere else? Like, you know what? All this Twitter shit, you know how you could build credibility or just buzz or hype? For fuck's sake, like, go to do charity events and shit. Right? Derek Lewis can shit talk, but he went and saved people's lives in fucking hurricanes and shit. Right? He didn't sit there and just try to manufacture something out of fucking thin air. There's shit he could do. Can he put out fires in California? Like, isn't there some shit going on out there? Like,
yeah, the Raider game might not even be able to be.
That's what I'm saying. Or like, go visit a children's hospital. That always plays well. For fuck's sake, I almost have a soft spot in my heart when Bisping does that shit, and I hate Michael Bisping. I hope he gets hit by a bus instead of Tommy. I hope he jumps in front of Tommy, the bus that's destined for Tommy that Chris wants to throw at him.
Well, he's only got one eye to see out of.
That's very true. So if you cover that and the bus comes on the blind side, it's fucking over. But I'm just saying, you know what? Pick something else. Do something else. So you know what? Learn Spanish and go on the Spanish language station and then make fun of everybody.
Part of me wonders if he's picking a fight with DC because of AKA and Khabib.
Maybe, but that's an
what I'm thinking.
Long play, but it's a terrible one because the execution is straight shit. All right, I'm not a comedic writer. Neither are you. I'm pointing at my two co-hosts here. I think the three of us could come up with some better lines for the shit talking.
All you got to do is look in our fucking private chat.
That private chat's lit as fuck. I'm telling you.
That shit is sick.
Fuck. I'm telling you. We should release it every year.
Knows all about it.
Oh, Trisha has to put up with it.
Feel bad for her at times because she has to put up with
that vileness.
Shit.
It's not that vile.
Some crass business. I know some of the private messages I get from both of you are even worse, but and it's just the level of the craziness. However, we could come up with some better cans of corn for him to pop open, right? Yeah, fuck, man. Call Stone Cold Steve Austin. Do something, man. Call Paul Heyman, right? Brock can't cut a promo, so Paul Heyman does all his fucking promos, right? He gets by.
Yeah.
Right? He's the athlete, and he has some fucking crazy bald-headed fuck talk for him. Like, okay, that's fine.
That's who the UFC should sign, Paul Heyman.
No, they should just let Eddie Bravo cut his promos.
Oh, God.
Right? I mean, it would at least be a little more entertaining than whatever god-awful shit. Yeah. Who is he going to start a fight with next, for fuck's sake? Right? Your boy Mark-On? Like, come on, man. Just leave it alone.
Yeah.
Shit. Sick of this. And I'm sick of this because he's one of mine by association. All right? He's making us all look bad, right? Tony, this is why we can't have nice things, bro. All right? You're tough enough as it is. Don't try to fucking get the hairnet and button the fucking collared shirt at the top button and walk around swinging your dick like you run shit, all right? You're already a badass motherfucker, right? You're the goddamn, real lightweight champion. As much as Chris is probably going to get on me for this, but you know what? You got to defend it or you got to vacate, motherfucker. I agree with that.
Because Tony defended it.
But he's down to. He's been in the thick of things. He's fought 10 fights in the fucking division, all right? In terms of who I think is there we go. But don't try to come off and be something you're not. The Diaz's, I think, are that crazy, and I do think they chill in fucking trees.
I'll co-sign that 100%.
Right? And they do nunchuck stuff, and they really do nunchuck shit. I don't think it's fake. I think they fight with nunchucks every fucking third Thursday of the month with the other news stations. All right? Somebody gets killed with a trident. Right? Like, I'm serious. But fucking, they're real people. And Tony's just coming off, and he's like, it's like he bought like a how to be a heel kit off of Amazon. And he's like, hold on. Okay, let me start shit with, who's trending.
He's reading it really wrong.
I'm telling you, he's reading it backwards. He's like, who's trending on Twitter right now? Oh, DC? Oh, let me start shit with him. Who's trending on Twitter right now? Oh, Verdun? Let me start shit with him. Man. Stop. That's all I gotta say.
Yeah, no, you're 100% right. I mean, he took an amazing fight and shitted it up in one day on Twitter.
Yeah, all that momentum from what really is a great war that he could have capitalized on and be like, hey, Conor, I'm in the trenches. I'm fighting these fights that you're not doing. All right, you're getting paid $100 million, and I would easily trade places with you in a second. However, for the sake of argument, I'm going to try to make it like I'm fighting the Lord's battles here.
Well, because he wants the real belt.
I'm telling you.
Tony Ferguson fights for a belt. He doesn't just fight for a paycheck. He fights for a paycheck and the belt. He wants to be the best in the division, whereas Conor just fights for a paycheck.
I'm not even mad at that.
Conor's fighting for more than that, man.
What's he fighting for?
He'll get it.
What's he fighting for?
Legacy.
He's the champ, bro. What the fuck do you mean? What's he fighting for? Money.
With an asterisk there.
Yeah.
What? 0 defenses. 0.
Bro.
0.
Anybody in?
I'm getting a little turned on by the way he's doing that 0 though.
Conor McGregor is the dog from The Nightmare Before Christmas. 0.
Don't you dare. All right, that's a great movie.
It is a great movie.
All right, don't even. That's
but like I said,
terrible.
0. 0 defenses. The butthole defense. 0.
The butthole defense. The butthole fucking defense. You guys are fucking animals. Jesus Christ.
That's such you know what I mean? Like, what legacy is there? Congratulations, you won 2 belts. You haven't defended one of them.
Hold on.
Where's your legacy?
He's 29. He's 29 years old.
Okay.
He's gonna fucking fight for at least 5 more years.
Yeah.
Legacy though.
So we got like 5 more Conor fights.
Yeah, but, every 2 years.
But legacy, I think he's cemented.
You don't think that if he fights Diaz and beats him,
he's not fighting Diaz. Get Diaz out of your brain. That's
you don't think Conor and Diaz are gonna fight again?
No.
Ever?
Not for that belt.
No.
I don't give a fuck.
Maybe
not for that
They're gonna
belt.
fight again.
Maybe at IKEA for that dog furniture line that's coming out.
Maybe in the hospital, like Joe Riggs and.
Oh, that was all. I wish. Holy shit!
My favorite story. That was one of the.
Remember the animated one they did?
My...
Somebody did I think an animation to it, or some shit. It was like
so my CTE is kicking in right now. What the hell are you talking about with Riggs and Diaz?
Chris, take it away.
Oh my god!
Like Calgon, come on.
Well, when Joe Riggs and Diaz fought in the UFC back in the day, after the fight, they were in the hospital getting like IVs and this and that, and Nick just pulled up and they fought in the hospital, and Joe Riggs was like, that mother, honestly, just watch the Joe Riggs interview where he talks about it. It's one of the best interviews I've ever seen, because he's like, Nick Diaz is like
is that guy
crazy motherfucker.
He's like, basically Joe Riggs is like, he is that. He
did not agree with that decision, and he was going to get his W.
Yeah.
in the hospital, one way or another. That's
Hospital.
why I say the Diaz brothers don't lose fights; they simply run out of time.
It's the truth. There, I got to give
That's
him
it.
that because it actually happened. And like nurses and doctors, fucking physicians, assistants, orderlies, were all involved in trying to break these motherfuckers up. Because of that fight, this is why the UFC sends people to different hospitals now. They used to just like send them all to one place and be like, listen, you know what? If they need blood, we can get it in bulk. All right, just give them all the same one, give them whatever the universal donor is. Fucking fill them up, unleaded premium. However, now you can't do that because, all right, Mr. Diaz was like, yo, is that motherfucker here? Bang. Just busting everybody. His brother was there. I think his brother jumped a couple of Joe Riggs'
Yeah.
friends. It was a fucking.
It was a fucking very.
So you
Diaz-
applaud that, Chris. You applaud that.
I do, for sure.
That's
Yeah, I
but
applaud that.
that made the
100%.
sport
fucking
look like
cent.
shit, though, don't you think?
Hold on, what?
Oh, bro, that helped the sport so much back in the day, man.
Hold
That's
on,
why
what?
Nick Diaz is a draw the way he is. Stop fucking playing stupid, Tommy. You know that shit's good for the sport. This is a fight game, bro.
Yeah, there's a
Bad
cage
for the
for
fight
that.
game.
It's not
There's a
insurance
cage for that.
sales. It's not insurance sales,
Oh
Tommy.
my goodness.
All
There's a
right.
cage for that. There's poor innocent doctors and nurses that didn't need to be subjected to
I can't. I
wankster.
can't even keep this with a straight face.
You
Get the
are
fuck outta
such a
here.
fucking bitch,
You're
dude.
such a- yeah,
Stop
exactly.
pulling this fucking,
Fuck out of here. Mother Teresa bullshit. And try to say like,
he
yo, you
tailors
give a
his
fuck.
arguments to suit his fucking
Oh, for sure.
agenda at the moment.
Tommy the chameleon D. All right, he just kind of blends. I'm telling you, whatever rock he's on, it's the color he's going. Except it's always white because he's racist. But
The resident racist, ladies and gentlemen.
I'm telling you, the Archie Bunker of MMA, Tommy D.
He is such a
You know,
Watch
He's
it,
a
Trump
Chris.
supporter.
he's a
What?
Gleason. Oh,
Really?
You are a fucking Trump supporter, aren't you, Tommy?
Nah,
Yes.
man.
Yes, because I'm
We
a
won't
rich
go there. We
fucking
won't
white
go there.
dude.
No, he reads the Daily Stormer every day. But
I didn't hear that. I'm almost glad.
no, good. He read the what? No, you don't have your subscription? Nah, man, Chris, you're brown by association, by family ties, so you're fine. Right? We discussed this. You got the piss. But
Yeah.
nah, you know, speaking somebody who is about to get traded by the Mexican delegation, even after winning the interim belt. Tony Ferguson needs to cool it with this bullshit. All right, he's coming off looking like a really bitter, sad bitch.
Which is
not doing
amazing because
anything.
he just won.
That's crazy. It's like he won, but he's taking
Yeah,
the
it's like,
biggest
dude,
L of his
how about
career.
this, Tony, fucking smile, bro.
Yo, and change your glasses.
Chill.
Yo, what are
Yeah.
those?
And take them
Well,
off. How about this?
you know
Take
what's
the
funny,
fucking
though?
glasses off for a minute.
If they tell him to smile ear to ear, he'll look like that troll. You know that the troll smiley face that they have.
That's fine, man. That's fine. You know what? He has 2 ears to smile to, so you know I can't say.
Tommy
shit.
just swung and missed, ladies and gentlemen.
No, I didn't.
It's
Watch
just
it, Chris.
He's
Ease up,
been
bro.
watching. He's been watching a lot of the troll movies. He's got kids. I don't begrudge him that at all. I've been there. You know, my
Are you
sister
talking about
says-
Troll 2?
Yeah, right.
I took a trip to Nilbog.
That shit. Yeah, exactly. That shit's lit. I watch it again. I don't give a fuck.
Well, according to people in New Zealand, I took a trip to Nilbog.
Yo, you were that guy. You were the guy under the bridge. You're living in Puerto Rico right now. But shout out to the Strong
You
Island.
went
right
there,
there.
not me.
I'm not. Yeah, I'm not saying nothing. 83% have electricity. Yay, we're making progress. A week later, fuck yeah, fuck you. Get out of here. That bullshit. Oh, we can't be there forever. Trump can suck my dick from the back. But
Oh, he's
my
talking about
God.
a rusty trombone, ladies and gentlemen.
fuck out of here.
And I'm the one.
Omar is
I love
asking
that.
Trump for a rusty trombone.
I'm telling you that bomb. Fuck that bomb.
Oh, happy day.
Yeah. So I think we gotta hit the gavel on this part of the conversation. Tony Ferguson needs to cut the shit. And come up with something else. Maybe write blogs or something. He needs to find another outlet to try to generate publicity because this ain't
segue
working.
that into just ending the conversation on Tony Ferguson with saying that yes, he should get the Conor fight for a lightweight matchmaker.
For sure.
Conor and Tony should fight just to shut this whole fucking faction of people up to think Conor's ducking anybody. He's just a smart man. Smart
Realistically, it has nothing to do with ducking. It's Tony has the interim belt. Conor has the regular belt. You have to unify them. There needs to be one champion.
Belts are
Okay,
fake.
I'm aware. So either way you want to slice this whole situation, Connor was smart because now this is the most at any given time. If Connor and Tony fought, it would not have generated as much as it's going to generate. Connor's fucking the hand of God in the MMA world, and he kind of just dictates things, and
And then when he
he's not
loses,
really
he won't
making
be,
wrong moves.
which I can't wait for. I can't wait.
What can't you wait for?
When he loses, and then he's not the hand of God anymore. Then he's Ronda.
Mm.
Then he's Ronda.
I've been saying that about Floyd Mayweather for like 20 years now. I just can't wait until this guy loses. I haven't seen it yet.
But
So
we've already seen Connor lose, so we know it can happen.
yeah,
But now he just has to lose his belt.
that
Then he could, take all the super fights he wants. He can go fight Tyron Woodley. He can go fight GSP. He can go
I
fight
don't care about these
John Jones
belts.
in Japan.
I don't give a shit about these belts though. Like
yeah, the belt.
Yeah,
Stop.
but they're
Get.
there,
I
so
don't know.
they matter.
no, they don't. Not
All
all
belts
belts
matter.
matter. Fuck you. I knew you were
They're all
going. I knew.
there. There's a lot of them. They're all
There's
there.
there's fucking
They do
17 of
exist.
them, and I
You don't
All
like
right,
really
the
that, you
couldn't
ones
give
think?
that
a
aren't
shit.
interim belts actually matter.
No, they don't. Stop it. It's prize fighting, man. You fight for
I
the
mean, it
prize.
matters in the sense of like how much you get paid to fight.
Well, no, it really
Demetrius
doesn't.
Johnson. Ask DJ how much
Stipe.
it
Well,
matters.
ask Stipe.
Stipe is another one.
Okay, ask Stipe what he was making before he was the champ.
It doesn't
Well,
matter. Alistair Overeem made more than him, and he was the champ.
he was making time and a half when he was at the firehouse Saturday and Sunday.
Yeah, well,
That's
that's
not gonna
because when
fucking sneeze
Overeem
it.
came over, he had, they needed something to,
A
spike
challenger
the
should not
heavyweight
make more
division a
than a
little bit.
champ. I don't care what your name is. I don't care what your name is. A
If you do,
challenger
you
should.
have shitty managers. Well, let's also say that
Yeah,
right
like
there
let's
too.
let's get let's get into the semantics of why um Stipe doesn't make money. Stipe signed that contract just like the rest of like you're the motherfucker. I can't believe Tommy sometimes, man. So he really is the fucking chameleon with his arguments. Like, oh, Stipe should get more. Well, Stipe, if like someone else like Nick Diaz or Nate Diaz holds out for more money, they're wrong. They should be fighting. But Stipe did, like it doesn't make sense
Because
to
he doesn't hold
stand
out.
there. No offense.
He doesn't hold out.
Or actually, fuck you. Take offense. How about that?
No, I don't take offense. Because the only people that
That's
you
all I got.
argue for.
I can't go at Tommy the way he comes at me because he has a wife and kids that
that we adore here at the Pride
The
Rules
fuck does
podcast.
that have to do with
We
anything?
I don't want
adore.
to.
Hey, we adore that family,
It
and they're
doesn't
off the
actually. It's
table.
just my excuse for being weak in this.
Well,
Crazy.
Not that's not the excuse, but we won't say what it is because I respect all
No, it's that
conversations. There we
he
go.
has things. He could say things that are like. It's not that he has things, but there's some jokes that funny and
bro, fucking thicker than rhino skin, dude. Shit don't bother me.
no, I'm not talking about me towards you. I'm talking about vice versa.
He's got a
If
rhino
I push
cock
Tommy
too.
too hard, he goes hard, bro. So it's like I gotta be careful with the jokes that I say to Tommy
Goes hard with
because
that
I'll be
rhino
like,
dick.
I'll be text from my fucking mother. Like, what
Yeah,
happened?
yeah.
Like,
Why? Why am I
I
hearing
made a
about
joke
this?
about a sunflower and
Yeah.
everything went fucking crazy.
Right, he went. Oh man, remember that? He went in on it. He even went in on me. He's like, "Yo, shut the fuck up." Like, cut it out. He sent me like a
Yeah.
private message. Like, listen,
But all right, we'll get back to the lightweight division now because I'm afraid Tommy might
me too,
But
actually.
no, like there's
slinging
but no.
fucking
What we were
shit at
talking
me.
about was honestly, Alistair Overeem should not be making more than the champ. It shouldn't
It's a
be.
business. It's what you're able to
I mean, not
get
to
and
mention
prove.
Stipe. Plus, Stipe knocks everybody out. So right there, you know what I mean.
Hey, he
He's
tapped
not.
against Alistair. Okay,
Okay, I have a
how
question.
dare
I have a
you?
question. Now, what would be your solution to this problem, Tommy? Because here's the deal that I see is that if there's a heavyweight that comes in because they're coveted, like a Brock Lesnar, an Overeem at the time, they come in and they sign this contract, and now there's a guy that's on the come up that doesn't have this contract. He didn't, or like a Kane, or we'll say a Stipe, right? Do you automatically put like a UFC just has an automatic fucking escalator in all their deals where if you become the champion, you become higher paid than the highest paid guy you don't think it works. It shouldn't work that way. Like that's what you need to negotiate before you sign the
Yeah,
deal.
I don't think. Well, you see, it's different because let's say, okay, so Stipe has this contract, right? Then he wins the belt. He shouldn't still be held to the contract that he signed because he's the champ now. He's holding the belt.
Okay, so then my point is this, right? But whose job is that? Is it the UFC's job to be like, here, we're gonna give you fucking more money? What business does that? It doesn't make any sense. Like, yeah, they'll give him, he gets more money. He does get more money. But if Stipe is not happy with the amount of money, he could just say, well, I'm not fighting for this amount of money, it's amount of money. And if they don't budge, then he gets stripped and goes on and doesn't, like there's a contract for a reason. And I guess we all kind of, pick a side on the fence when it comes to the contracts, depending on the fighter that it is involving. Because if it was Nick and Nate, I always take their fucking back, and just like you do it, any, your teammates.
He doesn't.
So,
He's not a homer. Like, no, that's
no,
what I
Tom,
got to say
not
about
one
Tom.
bit.
He's not a homer at all. He's very fair and unbiased, and I love his objectivity.
I just don't see, like, I understand your problem with it, and I understand that it maybe is a problem, but I don't think that there's a viable solution. And until you won, I think the argument is invalid.
Well, then any argument.
It is a good point.
I mean, any argument with MMA is invalid then.
Well,
when it comes to stuff like that, it's all invalid. But
I say no gods, no masters. Right? Get your money.
Understand this, and like when it comes down to the titles, the negotiate, it's all money. The UFC is in this for the money. That's it. They're not in this to entertain. They're not in it for any of that. They're not in it to do any of that. It comes with the territory. Like they're, the more entertaining, the more money. But I don't know that that's their business plan anymore. I think that they're just trying to put up as bunch of shit cards as they can and not pump it, not promote it, spend as little money, keep the budget small, and you're making money anyway. Like at the gate, the pay-per-views, the advertising, all that stuff is still coming in.
I don't know how much money they're actually making when their pay-per-views aren't even going over 150,000 buys.
Here's the thing. I could fucking guarantee you that they're not losing money.
You're talking about everybody top getting paid.
They got a Fox deal.
125,000 buys.
They just signed a deal with Modelo. They got a Fox deal. Like there's sponsor money coming in droves. The Reebok deal. They're fucking butt raping the fighters that they care so much about.
But the big deal that's still on the table that I don't think that these pay-per-view numbers are going to help at all is the fucking TV deal.
Mm-hmm.
You keep hearing about these terrible numbers, bro. Like when the guy I work with, right? He's an MMA guy, more of a jiu-jitsu guy, whoops my ass, brown belt, trainer. Shout out to James Ralph. You're an ordinary fuck, but I love you. He's like, he told me the numbers for the past 2 pay-per-views. I'm like, holy shit. Like, that's crazy. You couldn't make the sale on this performance, these performance numbers. It's like you got a big promotion at work and then you started phoning it in.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, it's gonna come and bite you right in the fucking ball sack.
Because their numbers were not that low before.
I've said this on the fucking podcast. You could make more money off of a flop than you can with a hit, as long as your intention is to make it a flop. If like that's your intention from the get, like they don't even need pay-per-view. Like it helps, but they're not promoting it. So like, there's no red. It's all green.
Yeah, but you can still be at a loss in business if the green percentage is not what was expected by the initial investment. So I get it. I don't think that they're going and putting on a show and spending $10 million and making $6 million. I'll give you that. I think they're covering the nut for sure. However, if I go in as an investor and buy something, I'm thinking, listen, I'm paying for the potential of future performance. Right? Eventually, I'm gonna start getting pissed if I bought something for $4 billion and I valued it at X, and suddenly you're giving me X minus Y in return. I'm gonna start asking questions eventually, especially at this terrible juncture. This is the absolute worst possible time where they could be having terrible pay-per-view numbers when they're trying to shop a new TV deal, for fuck's sake. Especially with the changing landscape in TV. With ESPN and the NFL even starting to eye their deal and go, wait a second, is this mutually beneficial? Is this benefiting anybody? Like, there's not that much money, as much as it was before.
It's all about Showtime now. They're gonna.
I think so. But you know what? if anything, Showtime might be poised to get it at bottom dollar as opposed to what Fox paid for it at the
Yep.
time. Right, the power rankings, right, are the red arrow going down.
They'll do like a 1 year deal and then restructure after the second year.
Yeah, just to make sure that they're not locked
I think that the UFC would be so much more entertaining on cable.
Oh, absolutely.
I want to see more swearing.
First of all, fuck commercials because I'm so tired. I want to see in between rounds as a fan. I want to see what's going on.
Oh yeah, so do I.
For sure.
I love listening to the.
That's a lot, you know.
corner.
To watch what happens in between rounds, you could get a good idea of what's going to happen.
Yeah.
If it wasn't for them panning over to the corner, you wouldn't have probably one of the greatest quotes from. Wait, what the hell is his name? I can't think of his name. Put a hole in his fucking chest.
Oh, Ray Longo?
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were gonna go with Jackson. Hey, your groin hurts. Hit him with your groin then. I don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
That was a great.
Now with those commercials, you don't have that. They cut to a commercial in between rounds, and then it goes right to the fight. You know,
even on the pay-per-view, somewhat. They're filling it with so much bullshit in between rounds that sometimes you don't even get like a full. I really want to hear what, ideally what both do. Like, let's go back and forth.
Mm-hmm. You don't want to see Luke Rockhold sitting in the front row giving me the rock on sign with his tongue out in between rounds. And with
Demi call me on his fucking forehead.
Such a punk
in dark ink, like, yo, call me Demi.
See, at least Chris and I are in agreement on the hatred of Luke Rockhold.
It's not even I hate Luke Rockhold.
The three of us
I don't hate Luke Rockhold, but I don't like Luke Rockhold.
No, you hate Luke Rockhold because he horns in on your action. All right? The two of you are in that stratosphere of good-looking gentlemen, all right? Two of you are a couple of 1-2 big dick bandits. All right? So you're looking at Luke Rockhold and you're like, man, right? We can't. All right? These both snakes got to live. There's got to be enough water for both snakes to live.
And as long as
I'm not going to take the shot.
You got to fucking keep the grass cut because he's a snake.
I'm not going to take
the
shot. I'm not going to take the shot.
Don't do it, Tommy.
I'm not going to take the shot.
This is what Wing. All right, sir. I'd like for you to take a second and take a note here. This is what wing manning really looks like. No, Tommy. This is what being a wingman.
Seizure over there because he wants to say his joke so bad.
He does. He looks like
I'm not gonna.
Looks like somebody's touching his big A button.
I'm not gonna. I'm gonna let it go. Just woosah.
Woosah. Let her go.
Jesus,
let her go.
Tommy.
Yo, exactly. That's what I'm saying, bro. Right?
She is a sweet girl.
She's a sweet girl, and she's talking to this big dick bandit over here, fucking smuggling a goddamn Pringles can.
Let it go, Tom.
Smuggling a goddamn Pringles can in his pants. Right?
Which one of these things just doesn't belong
I'm
here?
telling you. Sometimes when the camera like pans or like it moves and he's just like getting it situated, I'm taken aback. Fucking crazy.
Mm-hmm.
Gucci's dick game is strong. But
third leg day.
Yeah, every day's like that. He's dragging that rabbit tail around, right? Holy shit!
Woo!
Jesus, just swinging it. Oh, dude, fucking Tommy's about to have apoplectic shock over here.
I'm gonna have an aneurysm.
Really? His fucking eyeball is gonna burst a blood vessel. People are gonna start asking, "Are you back to your old ways?" You're gonna be like, "Oh man, I'm a changed man. Look at the range, man." But yeah.
So yeah, I mean, just like you're saying with the TV deal. I don't know, Chris. I think you're giving them a little bit too much more credit. As far as the money is going.
Shocker, I agree.
It's just because you think that they're doing better than I really think that they are. That's the thing. Like, yeah, WME is getting their paycheck. Dana is getting his paycheck and stuff like that, but they're not making what they were making before. No. They were making a lot more money before, which is why that sale went through.
Here's why I can't. I just. That's not fact. That's what you think. If you could show me that, then I'll be like, Tommy, you're right.
Well, just from the ratings,
you don't know what's
the
show. Fuck that. All
privately
that.
held
Fuck
company,
all
Chris.
that.
Don't try to entrap them.
Don't try to entrap them. I want to see the bottom line.
I mean, look at it this way: Ultimate Fighters, those ratings were good before the sale. Now people don't even give a shit. There is a great season of The
I
Ultimate
hate to
Fighter
say
going on
this,
right
but it's
now.
because it's a women's season, probably.
Yeah,
Oh
but
my
it's an
God.
awesome season. Well, no, that's not true because the season that Ronda and Misha were on was high rated.
Well, that's
Okay,
Cupcake. That's
we're
Cupcake
talking
right
about
there.
Ronda.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was high rated.
But
This is for a championship.
what about when like Pettis and Gil Melendez was the season? Nobody gave a shit about that season either.
When? When was that?
Exactly.
Exactly.
It was Pettis. It was like the Felice, Angela Overkill. That
Overkill
season.
Hill. Yeah.
The Scrap Pack, the Scrapettes. It was like
Yeah, but
Madonna,
that
Angie
wasn't that
Overkill.
bad. The ratings weren't that bad for that. They weren't that bad.
Again,
Now,
Tommy's just
I
going
see.
like this and picking his information out of the sky and saying
No,
it wasn't that
Like
bad.
Mad
Here, look.
Sweeney just
Like,
picking up
let's
points.
put it this way. I'm willing to bet that that's only on Fight Pass, like the Ultimate Fighter, like China, and where they do it in all these other countries. I bet those are higher rated than the one that's going on right now. And this isn't
well,
just
now you
a
know.
winner gets a
So then
contract.
my point,
This
you're
isn't
further
just a winner
proving my
gets a
point, is that
contract.
you don't
The
know
winner
where they're
winner
getting
is
their
the
fucking revenue
champion
streams from.
of that new weight class. The winner gets the belt of this season, and nobody's watching.
It's pretty
Okay,
terrible.
and how about this? I don't even know one fucking name. I've seen it twice. I still don't fucking know. That's
One
how
of them's a
good that
UFC
champion is.
fighter. Lauren is a UFC fighter.
I'm being facetious about this, but Tommy, you understand my point. The Maybe you don't understand my point because you're not
No.
fucking bright.
Oh no. Why? Hold on. Really? Oh,
I get
Jesus.
worried though when I say things like
Yeah,
that.
me. So do I. Because I'm trying to help you out here too, Chris. But then you fucking poke the bear, and he's over there fucking chewing and ready to just
Yeah,
come
like
at you.
he's fucking twitching,
I'm
ready to
telling
fucking
you,
pounce on
man,
me.
that inner lip of his has got to be beat up more than Jenna
Shut
Jameson's
your phone
both.
off tonight, Chris, because I'm gonna have my
Jeez.
thumbs are gonna be going like crazy.
Oh my God. You're gonna be getting tagged in some vile shit on Facebook. That's all I gotta say. You're just gonna be getting tagged. You need to put on where you have to say yes before it shows up on your timeline. You need to fucking tag.
I'm gonna Photoshop Chris's face on one of the girls from Two Girls One Cup and put
Oh
that all over.
no! Oh my Lord, bro! I had a meal like two hours ago, and that's still making my stomach upset. Fuck out of here! That's disgusting.
But yeah, I
Jesus.
mean, Omar, you got to admit that they're not
Oh,
making what they thought that they were going to make.
I agree with Tommy, and I have to disagree with Chris on this one. You can still make educated guesses based on like trailing indicators. I agree it's a private company, so yes. Way to try to entrap our boy here, Chris, and say if you could show me the bottom line. If you could, you go to jail. All right? Because those are private fucking
Yeah.
financial documents.
I know
However,
one person. I know one person
My
who
point
can.
though, Omar.
I don't know who you're talking about at all. So yeah, yeah, go fuck yourself. So so anyway, fuck you, Tommy.
But yeah, but you could just look at their ratings and know that they're not
Seriously,
making what they
you
were
can
supposed
tell.
to be making.
You can absolutely just tell with the ratings, with the fact that they're
Tommy.
shopping the deal. Have you guys heard of anybody interested in the deal yet?
Mm-mm.
They're past the point where they have to allow Fox to match, right? Fox let him go as a free agent. Even just that, guys. If the commodity had been enough of a great pickup where locking them in would have made financial sense for Fox, we would have even had this. They wouldn't have gone beyond that grace period.
Bob's Burgers got signed on for more season. That show is fucking dumb.
I agree. I'm not a
but
huge fan, but I
Tommy,
think you can tell.
earlier about how like the China Ultimate Fighter is doing probably better than the one here. So that's my point. There's other streams of revenue. It's international at this point.
Bro,
that's why
they're
they do a
making
lot of
yeah,
these
but they're not
cards.
making anything extra on that
Local
Ultimate
talent.
Fighter season
Pay them
other
shit.
than the $9 a month for the app. Ask the WWE what that app did to them the first couple of years.
Oh, they was rocky as shit, and they're
Yeah.
a publicly traded company. You can tell what that
Yes.
did to them. Their stock went up and down. McMahon's lost a lot of money before gaining some of it back, and then they
Yeah.
lost a lot more
It's a
when she ran
business
for
at the end of
Senate.
the day. Look, we could sit here and talk businesses until we're blue in the face, and I'm about blue in the face.
You're blue in the
I
chest
mean,
right now. That I do.
He's
I do
blue in the
see.
crotch, apparently.
blue in the
Wait,
balls.
oh, whoa!
Oh,
Hey-o. Jesus Christ.
And the
Well,
school
guys.
bus didn't get off yet.
Oh, no. See, I think that tells me. What do you think, guys? We tabled the lightweight matchmaking for Monday. No, for real. I think we could get away with kind of like
I
teasing
think
it.
we exhausted the. Yeah.
I think we did. We're at the roughly right at the 1.5 hour mark. I think we're also at the point where we start getting punchy. Right at 1.5 hours is where we
Yo,
just start.
10:30 is 2-minute warning after dark, and things get fucking nuts. I
Things
do
get
not want to
weird.
be
Yeah.
around for any of that.
Things get weird. I don't want to be on video for the things that we share and discuss at 10 past 10:30. Therefore, I think we're gonna call it a day there,
Real
guys.
quick though, we gotta wish Pride Rules alum Diana good luck this weekend in her submission only match.
She's gonna kill it. She's gonna take home a
Kill it.
sub,
Go ahead.
and then somebody
Tommy.
sign her and make her a pro. All right, because that
Yeah.
lady can bang. All right, and she's
Yeah.
always down. She'll
Hey,
fight
Omar,
for
did
you
you
every
see
week.
the Aaron Pico love we got today? I
Yeah.
sent it
Saw that.
to
Saw that.
Derek Brunson.
Finally, dude, and that's a couple of diverse spectrums of fandom. I think, like, usually, I don't think you could say, that Derek Brunson and Aaron Pico are giving you the thumbs up there, but we did it. I think that's because we have the fair, unbiased view, unless we're talking about any of Tommy's teammates or Conor McGregor.
Yeah.
We try.
Like, yo, it's crazy. Do you know how many fighters I root against because of Tommy that I actually used to like?
That's good.
That's terrible. That's just
That's good. I
terrible.
like that.
That's
You're
such
making
shit.
me a hater. You're turning me into
I'm a fucking mental
I love you,
ninja.
Tommy.
That's why.
That's I gotta give you that, Tommy. All right, you got an entire country.
When I see Tommy, I haven't seen Tommy in a long
Suiting
time.
up.
When I finally see him, I'm gonna kick him so hard in the nuts. First things first. I'm gonna walk up to him with fucking steel-toe boots, and I'm gonna kick him square in the nuts.
Dead in the dick, and then we're all just gonna.
Then I'll give him a hug,
And
and then I'm
yeah,
gonna
then we're
fucking
just
pinch
gonna-
his nipples until it bruises.
And then
Yeah,
and
but
then,
that's okay though, because
That's fine.
I know you're kryptonite.
I don't. Yeah, we'll keep it at that. That's ominous as shit. And on that note, guys, I'd like to give a
Yo,
thanks.
I'm petrified of that comment, by the
Me
way.
too.
You have no idea how much that scares me.
I'm
Well,
scared
so-
for you. All
I
right,
just
and
shit
I'm
myself.
two
Well, wait
states
a minute.
away.
Well,
Tommy's comment.
hang on. We were talking about the lightweights. We
I'm
didn't.
a state away.
We didn't start talking about the matchups.
No, I'm saying
Yeah,
we're
no,
gonna
we
table
curbed that for Monday.
Yeah, we're gonna cover that Monday, guys.
We're gonna
That's
cover
what I
that
said.
Monday with our guest.
Yo, by the way, what's up with
Yeah,
Liam?
before.
Just
A little
to
bit
just to
before.
get that out.
There we go. Who
Yeah, he broke his thumb. I'm assuming it was in training. I mean, it's pretty damn bad. Because he put the
It wasn't from those Twitter fingers like Tony Ferguson?
No.
No.
Yeah, and it kind of sucks because I mean he seems pretty goddamn fired up and pissed off.
Yo, in
So-
a way though, it might be better because Bubba Smith was a waste of a fucking.
Bubba Smith. Wasn't Bubba Smith that he was fighting? He was fighting Bubba McSomething. The fuck's his name?
Bubba yeah, whatever. Same fucking
McDaniels.
shit.
Bubba
Bubba
Smith.
Smith.
I'm like Bubba Smith.
Bubba
from
Smith, I
Police
think, is an
Academy?
ex-cowboy.
Yeah,
like,
Police
fucking
Academy?
no. I love. Yo, he's fighting Johnny Gumbach, and he's fighting him on the fucking undercard. What the fuck, Chris? Yo, that's as bad as Tyrone.
Bubba,
Woodley.
the guy that fucking cried his eyes out on the
Yeah.
Ultimate Fighter when he
Well, I think
Tyrone-
like Bubba
Tyrone
was.
Woodley?
I think Bubba
Uriah
was.
Hall.
I think Bubba was talking a ton of shit too.
Well, when your
and-
name's Bubba, you can't
Good for
really do
him.
much.
Now maybe we'll get to see fucking Liam choke out King Mo.
Well,
Like,
yeah,
maybe-
that's
we're
what I will.
gonna-
Maybe he'll be able to give us some insight on Monday as to exactly what's going to be going on with him now.
So yeah, drop that.
I'm hyped for that. We're having
Shameless
him on
plug.
Monday.
Shameless
Exactly,
plug.
Liam McGarry, right?
Yeah,
Monday show.
I'm excited for it because he said he's definitely got something to say. So I'm wondering what that something is.
I can only imagine. He's friends with
Uh,
him.
yeah.
Anniversary show already?
No, that's 2 weeks.
That's 2 weeks from now. Yeah,
We
52.
will have on. We will have on UFC fighter Justin Ledet, who just had that great fight against Zoo a couple
Who I
weeks
think
ago.
outside of Stipe is the best boxer in the heavyweight division.
That's yeah.
Yeah.
He's got them hands, bro. He's got them hands for sure.
Yeah,
I was
Absolutely.
really impressed
No,
with his
he,
boxing. I've only seen his, I mean, I don't know how many UFC fights he has, to be completely honest, but the one that I watched, yo, motherfuckers got footwork for days.
Did you see
Well,
him
he
fight? Did you see his fight against Bubba Smith though, Chris?
Yeah.
At all?
Did you guys see him fight Kevin Ferguson?
Kevin Ferguson. Oh my lord.
At least Bubba Smith is probably a real person.
Yeah, and alive.
Yeah, Bubba Smith is a real person.
And-
No, he's not alive.
Rest in
what?
peace.
Bubba Smith died.
Oh, rest in peace, Jesus
Bubba
Christ.
Smith was the big guy from Police Academy that used to play for the Indianapolis Colts or the Baltimore Colts. Excuse
Was
me.
he
I know,
what?
that's what I
Hightower?
Yeah,
Hightower.
Okay,
Hightower.
there we go. Well, no, yeah, he died. People, he's too big to live, too unique to kill, right? You can't fucking hang out there long, right? It's backcountry out there.
Well,
So-
no, he lived to old age.
Yeah, for a black dude, which is probably like 45. I mean,
Wow. Whoa.
I'm just he was young when he died. That's all I'm
What
saying.
was that?
I'm saying he was young when he died.
You got
Whoa.
Tommy fucking.
Diabetes comes for us all right? I'm just waiting for
oh
me.
my God. First Chris with his knuckle dragon comment like
I'm
3 months
Hispanic.
ago.
Yo, what the fuck,
And now
bro?
you with that one?
I'm Hispanic.
Holy shit.
I'm not living much longer.
How
all
bad
right?
is that I look like the good one?
That's a stretch.
You see, this is the reason why. Because
Take a
I
look in the
live my
mirror.
life by this book right here.
Fuck out of here with the Bible. Fuck
Bro,
out of here.
In that
man.
fucking seedy. That's a seedy ass motel Bible. Don't fucking.
Let me tell you, it's
Don't
hollow.
let anybody. Don't let them
It's
fool
hollow,
you, people.
Chris. It's hollow in the middle. All right, there's a flask in that
Yeah,
bitch.
he's probably
Don't
got a fucking flask in there. That
That's
he
what I'm
sneaks out to
saying.
the plane.
I'm saying, yeah. Him and Joey Diaz. Joey's got the vape pen. This guy's got the fucking booze in the Bible, and they're just like, "Yo, nobody's finding out, dog. Nobody knows nothing."
Tommy's got a fucking big black dildo in there with veins in it.
That's why. Hold on.
All right, hang up, Omar. Hang up.
Hold on. Jesus Christ. Yo, 10:32. It's 10:32. It's over. That's fucking crazy. No,
Is that a
just
Teen
why-
Beat magazine I see
No,
behind
no,
Chris
stop
there
it.
and
Okay.
a box of
For
Kleenex?
everybody at Madama Jiu-Jitsu at
No, that's
80K
yo,
Fight
Tommy.
Wear,
I use a happy sock.
for
Don't
80K
get it
Fight
fucking
Wear,
twisted.
and anybody else that still wants to be associated with us. There's probably not too many people now. We'll see you guys Monday.
So hey,
At
wait,
9
before
o'clock, right?
Before you close off, hey, why did the sperm
stop.
cross the road?
No.
You want to know
No.
why? Because Chris put the wrong socks on in the morning.
Oh,
Look.
Jesus. Oh, my God. Oh.
Hey, I just said I left myself open for that when I just said I use happy socks. So-
No, but you know what? I'd rather take that one than whatever else he had loaded in the
Yo.
fucking chamber. All right. So on
Tommy,
that
how
note,
about this? How about this?
No,
Ready?
yeah,
It's like
Christopher.
this show is like
Christopher, please.
this show. No, this isn't even bad. It's
Okay.
bad, but it's this show is like a bad car fire with people, right? You don't want to look, but you do anyway, and you masturbate.
shout out to the powerful Chris Fusen.
Oh my sweet Lord. On that note, guys,
I don't
we'll
even know
see
if
you-
I worded that properly, but
That's fine. We're not going back
it.
for leaving. We're leaving that soldier behind. So Monday at 9 o'clock, we'll fire it up, and then we have the guests coming in at 9:30. Right, guys?
Yeah.
Yes.
yeah, I'm on full tilt right now. My nerves
Beautiful.
are shot from this show.
No, so
Jesus
we're good.
Christ.
So we're good, guys. All right. Have a good night. Is Pride Rule signing off?
Oos.